for another edition of Ask Father Silva, and today's question is about Jesus' descent into hell, as we proclaim in our creed. It reads, if Jesus went to hell, and hell is the separation of God and his love, how is that possible? How can God be separated from God? How can the person that is love be separated from love? Also, if the heart of Jesus is heaven and Jesus went to hell, was hell heaven for 3 days? No. Right? Quick answer. The answer is no. That's not what we proclaim. That's not what we're saying, right? To be clear, right, hell, as we know it, is the separation, eternal separation from God, right? Because heaven is the beatific vision, right? Seeing God, being with God totally and perfectly for all of eternity, right? And so we read from the Catechism, right? Catechism 632, that Jesus' descent into hell means that Jesus sojourned into the realm of the dead prior to his resurrection. And like all men, Jesus experienced death, right, as it actually was, and thus his soul joined others in this realm. But as the Catechism points out, he descended there as Savior, right? And so his role when he descended to the realm of the dead was to preach the gospel message, right? Essentially to give those who had passed prior to his time, give them the option of coming with him to heaven, essentially, right? It doesn't mean that Jesus descended into hell to deliver those souls that have been damned, right? This does mean that Jesus is proposing it to them, and then, right, we see that separation, right? Sheol in Hebrew, right, is this shadowy place that we believed, right, our Jewish brothers and sisters believe, right, but we believed prior to Jesus' resurrection that this was the place where those souls went, right? It's consisted of both the righteous and the unrighteous who were deprived of the vision of God prior to the Messiah coming, right? We hear a parable of this when Jesus talks about the poor man and Lazarus, right? And so Jesus gives us a glimpse into what was going on prior to his resurrection, right? The Jewish people affectionately referred to that righteous abode, right, after death as the bosom of Abraham, right? And so it reads again in the Catechism, it is precisely these holy souls who awaited their Savior in Abraham's bosom, whom Christ the Lord delivered when he descended into hell, right? And so, right, Christ's descent into hell was for the purpose of preaching the good news, right, to those souls who had passed, right, those righteous souls who had passed, who were, according to, right, the verbiage of our Jewish brothers and sisters, awaiting the Lord's resurrection on the bosom of Abraham. And so, right, for all of us, right, we can be assured that hell was not heaven for 3 days, that Jesus didn't separate his humanity and his divinity when he descended into hell, right, that the God who is love remained love when he descended into the realm of the dead, right, to bring those righteous souls with him into eternity, right? And one of my favorite visuals is imagining Jesus, right, descending to this realm of the dead. And yes, he saw, Adam and Eve, right? And he saw those holy prophets and whatnot from the Old Testament. But I have this very vivid image of Jesus, right, seeing Joseph, right, his virginal father, as he descends to this realm, and just the comfort and the beauty that it would have been to see him as he descended into this realm. So that's all I got for you today. Right? I hope that helps, right? Especially because the person who wrote this question said, my brain hurts, good luck. So hopefully your brain doesn't hurt anymore. Hopefully that answers your question. And we'll see you again next week. God bless.